So, I've been keeping up with you, and I've been watching your pyramid. I need you to tell me about your pyramid, Mark. What's going on with the pyramid?
Well, you know, I'm sitting in it every day, and it's cool. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Where did you get that from?
Well, it's a funny story. I was, I think it was, I can't remember when it was. It was about 10 years ago. I was looking into pyramids and these studies that were done in Russia, and my eye was caught. My attention was caught by the clickbaity headline probably, but a pint of milk inside this pyramid just didn't go off. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I looked into it, and I was actually going to build them in Marrakesh. And then life happened. I moved country and 5 kids, blah, blah, blah. And then I got an email from one of my subscribers saying, I know a guy who's building, because I must have mentioned the pyramids on a show at some point. And one of my subscribers, I got a pyramid. You need to meet the guy who's making them. So I met the guy who made them online, as you do. Not in person, obviously, not these days. And we got chatting, and then we did a show on it, and then he sent me a pyramid, and now I sit in it every day.
Fantastic.
It increases your life force just by being in it. So this room I'm in now, so it's been like 6 months since we spoke.
Yeah.
Where's that gone?
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, I saw you with David Icke. That was cool. That was cool.
Oh yeah. Oh well, it was lovely talking to David. What a guy. Obviously, you don't talk to David. You listen to David. But fantastic. It was lovely.
Since I started, I was like, should I email Gareth and see if he'll cut? No, I'm not big enough. And I was like, I've got to pluck up the courage one day. That was great. That was great, actually. So this place is turned into a healing centre. I've got a pyramid, I've got tuning forks, I've got hydrogen water, I've got crystals everywhere. So it's all gone really well. My rebounder arrived this morning.
What's a rebound?
Rebounder is like a small trampoline. It's like the most.
I've got one downstairs. Yeah, that's good for your endorphins, doesn't it? Increases your endorphins.
It cleans out your lymphatic system, and it's just like a really, really efficient way of exercising. So it's all been solutions and spiritual, and since I last spoke to you, it's just gone very much that way. And my channel content is very much, I'm just really talking to healers and people that know stuff, and it's just and dragons. Dragons have entered my life, and I'm doing astral journeying, and I've been visited by the fairies. I'm saying that out loud. I can't believe it. Yeah,
I saw your video when you were kind of saying what had been going on in your life, and I thought, well, that's interesting, isn't it? Can I ask you a question? I'd like to know your opinion on this, because what I see has happened is that last year we were all in the, hey, don't worry, someone's going to come and sort this out for us.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now, after the going through a loss process of shit, actually, we may have to do this ourselves. What I'm seeing and what I'm aware of and what I'm aware with other people is that there's a big shift toward we've got to get ourselves into the best place that we can, mentally, spiritually, physically, the whole shebang. So has that been your motivation? What was your opinion of the kind of actually our savior on the white horse isn't actually running in on the white horse at the moment?
Well, I think he is. It's called God. And this is God's plan. And I think you're referring to Donald Trump, and I think he's part of God's plan. And he had to move out of the way. Because when the inauguration, everybody, all the truth movement were all like, oh, it's going to be a mass arrest. It's going to happen. Yeah. And then, you lied about this. You lied about that. You said this date. You said that date. Oh, Q's a load of bollocks. You're a load of bollocks. And I just sat back going, this is interesting. So what I've done, because I knew the whole thing was coming. When it happened, I drank a lot. I panicked a bit because I was like, oh shit, it's here, finally here. I've been talking about it for years. Now it's finally here. And then the summer, I was like, okay, better start doing stuff. So I started growing vegetables and, just started doing positive things. Then got the urge to start the YouTube channel. It was impossible to ignore. Started talking about it. Been researching this stuff for 20, 30 years and all my own life experiences. And then just started poetry. I've had millions of views on my poems since I last saw you, which is just extraordinary. And I didn't do any of this for views or anything. It's just, you just got to do what you got to do.
Sure.
And, it's been a real roller coaster. But the roller coaster is not just physical and emotional. Like you said, it's not just physical, emotional, it's spiritual. It's all of those things. And my life's changed beyond belief.
Yeah.
On the outside, it might look exactly the same, but on the inside, it's completely amazing. And and I've had moments of fear and wobbles and all sorts. You're going through it, but I think we're going through, like you said, we're all going through it ourselves, and the whole thing is about connecting with who you really are and finding that strength inside and becoming. So even on my Telegram group just now, there's people going, "Oh, the link doesn't work. The link doesn't work. The link doesn't work." So I put up and this is not denigrating anybody, I had to put up a little note saying, as you can see, that link obviously has been merged into the word next to it. It's a Telegram thing. Instead of just clicking on it and saying the link doesn't work, read the link, copy the bit you need, paste it. And it's and a lot of the work that me and other people that have been doing this YouTube stuff has been like teaching people how to find links. We're so used to everything just being on, without us thinking about it.
Sure.
Like the food gets delivered, and then where does the petrol come from? What's money? What is money? What people are actually asking these things, and they're starting to. And I realized this morning because a very good friend of mine, who I've spent a lot of time with in the last year, who I thought was very awake. He's a very astute gentleman, and but he comes at it very much from the legal perspective. And he rings me this morning. He's like, they're really actually doing it. I said, what? They're actually splitting up families. I said, well, it's worse than that. They're actually trying to commit genocide. He said, yes, they are. I said, well, I've been telling you this for a year. And I thought he was awake, but he was just looking at it. And it just dawned on me that his perspective was within the framework of his own perspective, right? Good. And his perspective was, the government's lying to us. Yes, that's a given. What they're trying to achieve is all about money. And I'm like, I've been saying for a year, no, it's nothing to do with the money. They own all the money. Yeah. Nothing to do with the money. Sure. But I've stuck to this one thing's kept me going. And that is that if the bad guys were in charge, bad guys, good guys, just to keep it simple, we'd have already been dead for a couple of years by now.
Yeah.
That's the thing that kept me going, because even when it's looked like, oh my God, they're really going for it. And this is a movie, 100% a movie. They are showing us, they're taking us right to the edge so they can turn around and say, do you see now? Do you see what they were going to do to you? And if not, and I'm wrong, we're all dead anyway. So
and death's not that bad. I mean, I often talk about it on my channel. Death isn't that bad. It's just a split second. The dodgy bit is beforehand when you're worrying about it. The actual event. I was present when my grandfather died, and it took a second. Something I want to just mention about what you said, because it's something that's coming up in my life lately. That I had a conversation about with the guys upstairs, and they were telling me, I was asking them about how is it that it seems as though my life, I was forced along a line of creating a life that would keep me separate from what is actually happening. I mean, I already started when I woke up 15 years ago. I started to separate myself from society because I realized that society was quite toxic. But I got to a point where work from home, homeschool the children, everything from home, live in the country, and I just thought I was drawn to that. It wasn't like I was actually drawn to do it. So when I was chatting to them, they said yes, because you have already gone through the suffering. Yeah. You have already suffered enough. And so although you're still affected by what's happening, you don't need to suffer at the level that humankind needs to suffer. And what they said was they need to suffer because through suffering, we wake up and we say, no more, I can't take this. And so that's all. That message then came through Anthony de Mello. I was listening to him, came through. I was just listening to something yesterday here in Spain, and everyone's talking about the same thing. Yeah. We've got to suffer. We've got to scrape along the bottom, just what you're saying. to be actually say, wait a minute, we cannot go on like this. But mankind's got to suffer to actually get there. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I mean, go through, it's the baptism. They need to die to that life and be reborn to a new life.
It's a big job.
It's massive.
It's a pretty big job, and it's been going on all of our life.
Yeah.
And this has all become clear to me. And it's actually really beautiful when you realize it and you see it, and I trust it. I absolutely trust it. And I've got such a incredible relationship with spirits and God and everything at the moment. It's just beyond belief. And like I said, I can't believe I'm even saying these things out loud, but it's true. And it's a very difficult thing to explain to somebody who doesn't get it. I'm still losing friends. I had Facebook yesterday or the other day. A friend of mine who decided to have the vaccine. He wrote me a message. I've known him for 20 years, and he said, "Mark, I've learned a lot from you over the years, but I think it's time you got the vaccine." And I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, are you serious? Don't let your last words be, 'Oh, Mark was right.' Please don't do it. Read the ingredients." They won't even read the ingredients. And then he put a post up on Facebook that was so like, oh, I just deleted him. I'm like, well, I've just got to let him go. Everybody. And everything for me in the last 3 years has been about basically God saying to me, are you willing to let go of everything?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if that's what I've got to do, that's what I've got to do. And, I had to let go of my money, my family, possession, everything, friends, everything. And since I've let go of everything, the abundance of love and knowledge and other things, like, it's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. And I'm so blessed and grateful just to even be here talking to you now. Sure. Because 6 months ago, you did that past life regression on me, and I was a big blue alien. I didn't have a clue what that meant, and I've now got a very good idea what it means. And and you've been part of my journey, a little part of yours. We did that thing with what's his name? Can't remember his name. Juan. Yeah, how's he getting on?
He's okay. I think he had because he was so heavily into Trump. That was his only theme. Yeah. He's tripped himself up a little bit. He stumbled a little bit,
Well, I think a lot of people did that.
Yeah, of course it did. And what one of the things, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but what I think we need to go through a bit of an evolution. All of the truth movement is massive now. It's really a monster. For them, it's a monster that they can't control. But it's still fractured. And, I was listening to a wonderful guy who's an astrologer called Robert from Barcelona. And he was talking about before the age of Aquarius, we were in the I am place. And when we came into the age of Aquarius, we're into the I know place. And this is the place of I know and a place of unity. And this year is going to be the year in which we unite. And I think one of the things that we need to do, some of these truthers have got millions of followers. Yeah. And I think the message that needs to come out now is, let's get together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you believe in fairies and I don't believe in fairies. What the hell? What does it matter? We know the overarching truth, which is, there's some people that want to get shot of us. The baddies are out there. That's all that we need to know, and we can unite. We could be so powerful, so powerful.
Yeah, and I think it's going to take a huge event to do that, because if we wait for everybody to catch up with everybody, it's not going to happen for years and years and years and years. I've got a very strong feeling there's going to be a very big event fairly soon. No dates or anything, but I've had this for a while. It's the one unifying thing is the children. That's the one thing that will unify everybody. But I think we need to be taken to the edge, really taken to the edge, like terrified, the brink of destruction. I think we need to be taken to the brink of destruction. I might be wrong. It's just my feeling. It's just my opinion. But I did a joke on a show with Mel K a few months ago, and I said I'd just got this leaked White House press release. And it was like, or it's top secret. document from the White House, and I just wrote it just before the show, and it was like, it's called the really, 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 really tight shoes strategy. She's going, oh, what's that? I said, well, basically, just really everybody puts on really, really tight shoes, and then they all take them off at the same time. It's just a massive relief, and everybody feels because that's what I think it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take people to the edge of destruction, they're all just going to keep arguing with each other. I mean, I wrote a poem recently called "The Great Divide" about this time, and in that poem there was a line about the truthers ate each other. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing people that I used to follow, like who talked about Q a lot, people who, you know, all sorts of different people, all fucking having a go at each other. Like, oh, it's conman, grifter, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Oh, my truth's better than yours. You've all got all those followers. How irresponsible. Hopium, what a terrible thing. And it's like, no, it's all bollocks. Just do what you say. We've just got to get to the point where we go, oh.
Sure.
And that's coming.
Yeah.
I can feel it coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the route to it, the other thing is, I don't really know the route. I've just told you an opinion, a thought, a feeling, but I don't really care, because this is about enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
It's not about the destination anymore. It's about, this is the journey. Yes, we've still got this bollocks going on. So what can I do? Well, you know, I'll go and buy a pyramid.
Sure.
I'm going to grow some different vegetables this year.
Mm-hmm.
Going to take the kids up a different mountain. I'm going to go in that cave that I was promised to go and have a look at. You know, it's things like that. There's tons and tons of things you can do, because the whole pandemic is all in people's minds. There is no pandemic, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So it's only existing in people's minds.
Yeah.
So in your own mind, create your own reality. And when you do that, I mean, I'm very chipper today. Don't know why. I think it's because they announced the death of Prince Philip. And I did it. Do you want to see the meme I just did?
Come on then, yeah, that'd be great.
So I don't often do memes, but you know, I met Prince Philip.
Yeah.
I shook his hand. I can still feel it. If people knew the truth about him, they would be mind blown how evil he was. Oh, I can't do screen sharing.
Oh, I have to give you permission or something, don't I, or whatever? I don't know.
So I've just had a bit of fun.
Yeah, screen share, there you are. Is that allowed?
So I'm laughing at my own jokes here.
Are you allowed to?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Can you do it now? I've clicked.
Yeah, I'm just going to find, I don't know where Zoom's gone. Hang on, there we go. Yeah, so I've just put these out because I've just... Oh, pleased with my own work. There you go, there's one.
Well, he did want to, didn't he? That was his dream, wasn't it?
It was his dream to come back as a virus.
That's very true. Yes. Yeah. I know somebody said, "Oh, he's died," and I said, "Well, it'll be COVID then, is it?" Yeah, for sure. I mean, they can't miss out on somebody going off without labelling them a COVID victim.
Yeah, this one's a bit rougher. This one.
Very good, very good. Nice.
Because the other thing is, right, although, you know, we're talking about end of times, biblical catastrophe, children, monsters, Satanism, demons, all true, and all the way through somehow I found a sense of humor. Well, I've not found it, I've just like continued with a sense of humor.
Sure.
And sometimes I felt guilty about it, but then I get these emails every day saying, thank you so much for picking me up and keeping me going. And
I think it's one of our greatest skills is to be able to laugh in the face of adversity. It's how we manage it. There's a couple of things I wanted to say that you were saying that resonated with me was when this all started. I was absolutely obsessed with creating. I thought, if I'm going to be stuck in the house, I'm going to start making stuff. And so I have made more things, and I'm talking about significant creation of like, I've made just next to me here, a recording studio, you know, like one of those ones where it's silent inside. I built stuff. And when I was talking again to the guys upstairs, and they were saying, if you want to, the best thing that you can do is to create, because we are sparks of God, are we not? You know, we're little pieces of God, the Creator. And so if we want to actually put the right energy into this world, we've got to start creating. And that's been my message. Just whatever it is, do it. Create, make stuff. And that's how we fight back against this negative energy, is because the energy of creation is divine.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. And so that's been kind of the theme for my years is, and that's what they've taught me, just keep creating. And that keeps you safe, keeps you strong as well.
It does.
There was something else I was going to say as well, but I can't remember now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It'll come back to me.
Well, I'm pleased to hear it, and I'm not surprised. I mean, you've got a very creative energy about you, and we all have, actually.
Sure.
And it's just some people are more tapped into it than others, and I'm loving. I get submissions. I put up a thing. I was going to publish a poetry book called The Great Awakening in verse, and the poems are coming from all over the world, and people have made videos going, I made this because I was inspired to do it, and here it is, and they're churning it out. And there was a brilliant, I don't know if you saw that song the other day by Sahara and Big Daddy called WTF. It's the funniest
I haven't seen it. No.
Funny. You've not seen it?
No.
Oh. Can I play it for you? You've got to see this. Gordon, this is what I live for, stuff like this. Even I've released a song.
No, I heard a little bit. I was in the gym and I had it on, and I heard a little bit. When you were with Mel, I think you played it. Did you not?
Yeah. Me and Dixie came, recorded, made a song. I've just put a song out. I'm like, what?
This is what it's all about. It's just, we're in mass creation at the moment, and obviously the energy level, the vibrations increasing so fast that we're manifesting faster than we've ever manifested ever.
It's instant.
Yeah,
I'll play a bit of this because this is just
okay. Ah, yes.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it. Yes, it's fantastic.
Funniest thing ever made. Watch a bit of it, just for me.
Yo, Sahara.
Hey, Big Daddy.
This song's called What the Fuck? Brought to you with love.
It's been a year. What the fuck is going on here? It's been a year. What the fuck is going on here?
You locked us in the house, motherfucker. With the beach, motherfucker. With my speech, motherfucker. And now you wanna stamp my motherfucking green passport?
That was born a free.
Probably too much swearing, I don't know, but I love it.
It's really good, really good. But it's happening more and more that a lot of people are being creative about mocking. You know that I know that the number 17 used to say the memes were we're going to bring everything down because you can dismantle a whole genre of lies with a really good meme.
Yep.
And it's the same with the song. My wife posted a one on our Telegram group of the ones something about someone being a wanker, all the people being a wanker, all the heads of state and everything. It was a hilarious song, but it's like they're coming all over the place. I mean, I this year I released an album called Peaceful Rebellion, and all of the songs are about peaceful rebellion and about what's happening and everything. And that was amongst all the other things I did, and it's just creation's just pouring out of us.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see. The pen is mightier than the sword, and humor. I was saying at the beginning of all of this that demons don't like humor. I mean, my whole thing was really about demonic attacks. I mean, I've had unbelievable. I mean, it all got really physical. There was one night, there was one on my back, and I had to crawl up the stairs because it was on my back, and I'm fighting them off. They're all gone now.
Question. You in one of your videos you said the demons are all gone, but I'm not going to tell you how I know. Tell me how you know.
No, I can't.
Ah,
I can't because it's something that I think it needs to be told when all this is over.
okay.
I don't mean it in any other way. It's just it's so fantastical and bizarre that I even know that. But and plus, I'm still piecing all that together. So I want it to be. I'm not saying I got rid of them all. I'm saying that I know. I think I know how and when and what part different people had to play in that. And it's not really about people anymore. It's about the consciousness of us, the singular consciousness, the God spark, the Christ consciousness. I mean, I did a meditation the other week, and this golden line came to me, and it was just like, it was like one of those scenes in the movies with the angels singing. You can hear it. It was just like, whoa, it's so unbelievable. I can't explain it.
Sure.
And then afterwards, I told JCK what it was, because she's incredible at the vision. She said, that's Aslan, Jesus. And I heard her say Aslan, but I didn't hear her say Jesus, because I didn't know that there was any connection between Aslan in Narnia and Jesus at all.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe book. Yeah.
And I'd never read the books, and been aware of the films, I'd never seen them. And it was like 2 weeks later, and somebody sent me a picture of Jesus on the throne, and coming out of his head was this huge golden lion. And I went, that's the lion! And then I rang my friend and said, there's Jesus, what? And he said, yeah, Jesus is known as the Lion of Judah. And I was like, wow. And then, so things like that, you cannot, it's not like somebody stood there in a thing, dog collar, telling you about, which was my experiences as a kid, really.
Sure.
It's a very personal thing, and you do want to talk about it because, and the only reason I talk about it is because other people. What I've realised is that the more you talk about this stuff from a very grounded, normal sort of bloke kind of way, other people who've kept quiet about stuff, they start telling you their stuff, and then the more of us that open up and start saying, well, actually, yeah, I've been talking to dead people since I was 2 years old. I had a fight with a demon, and I met Christ last weekend.
Yeah.
We've all got these experiences, right? But we've always been boxed in.
Yeah.
Always. And it's even when we think we're not boxed in. When you see somebody who's evangelical about God, I never trusted those people, right?
Very narrow, though. It's very narrow, isn't it?
Extremely narrow, right?
Yeah.
We're all, it's a bit like one of the reasons I still swear on YouTube is because it's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, because I'm talking about spirituality and stuff, I get a lot of complaints from Americans going, well, yeah, very interesting until you started cussing. And I'm like, well, fuck off then. You're on the wrong channel. Because the thing is, I don't care.
Sure.
Right. And I think, and I'm getting more and more authentic every day. I used to think I was extremely authentic. When I look back at that version of me, and I'm like, no. You were not really, Mark. You were bending the rules here. You were bending the rules there. You were subjugating yourself here. You were not standing in your power. And I never really understood that term of standing in your power. I first heard it, I think, about 7 or 8 years ago from a Kundalini yoga instructor friend. And she said that, and I was like, standing in your power, what does that mean? Literally didn't know what it meant. But now I think I do.
Yeah.
And the more we do it, the more other people stand in their power.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I was just talking about a couple of experiences as well that I've been. What I decided to do, Mark, what I was aware of is, I wanted to keep up to speed with everything that was happening, and that can become addictive.
Yeah,
because you start, sign up, and Telegram's wonderful. I mean, I had about 30,000 channels trying to keep up with them, but I noticed it was taking my energy down because there's a lottery. You watch a good video, then you watch a couple of bad ones. It's just like scrolling through Facebook. So I've done this sort of kind of cleanse and just said, right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start working on my spirituality. Let's get to a new level. So I'm doing remote viewing, learning the tarot cards. Oh, these are courses on Udemy, the little courses.
Yeah, great.
Bought myself a couple of courses, and also doing the Akashic records. visiting the Akashic records. So I did this, and it's a hypnosis thing, but it's a book and all of that. And I went up to the Akashic records, and you can ask a question. So I was there in the big hall, and there was this beautiful big leather-bound book with parchment pages, empty, and I asked it, and you're not supposed to ask when, because the Akashic records are timeless, and so there's no when. When doesn't, it's all about. I mean, the emissary said to me, it's not about timing; it's about energy and frequency. When the energy and the frequency is right, then the change happens. You can't put time on it. So I said, okay, so what has humankind got to do for this to change? What's got to happen? And they said they've got to step into the power, into their own sovereignty. They've got to learn to unite. They've got to learn to love, and they've got to learn to accept one another. And nothing new there. Just the same old there. What every guru has been saying for as long as you can, you can go back. But it's the truth is that's, become authentic, step into our power, become one, because we all are one anyway.